Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where last episode we carved into the Mughals quite a bit and made some enemies, and most of them are super powerful. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. Of course, we're in a bit of a chill period right now, and we need to grow our armies a bit and replenish our manpower, as well as work on some coring. So that is all absolutely fantastic. Let's first off check to see, we shouldn't really have to do states just yet. Let's first stop off and check on our buildings. That'll be great. And we got one going there. Perfect. Anything else here? I mean, we could build town halls. I really don't think it's important. Ah, Arabian Separatists. Yeah, that's not surprising. We knew that there would very likely be some people doing things like that. No real buildings to construct, so that's okay. And where are these Arabian Separatists at? Oh, this is a piece of cake. No problem whatsoever. Perfect. So what do we need in order to finish coring here? We need not much, actually. All we need is 90 here, and then these two are currently building farm estates, so it'll take some time, but that's just going to be roughly another 90. Not exactly, a little under, but we need like 180 admin power to do that, so that's fantastic. Overall, we're very pleased with the way that our reformed armies performed against the Mughals. That did very, very well. So that's excellent. We can continue to convert, and so we shall. Now, Ottomans. Also, knights exist. I just saw them raid, but they are definitely not over here. I'm not sure where the knights are, but apparently they exist. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get Bazir at coring. That's perfect. And we need to keep a fairly close eye on the Mughals in terms of their strength. However, they were no longer a valid rival for us at the end of the last war. So that is a huge deal. That was a very successful war against them. They're Miltech 25 still, which is a little remarkable considering we're 27 now. We've definitely bypassed them. Somebody has Miltech or Admintech 27 at this point, and someone has Diptech 27, and somebody reached Miltech 28 2 years ago. That's actually remarkable. Industrialization hasn't yet spawned. That will be spawning here in like 12 years. It cannot spawn in our territory. It will never spawn in our territory. We don't produce coal. That's all there is to it. We can't build a furnace. Indeed. It's just not a possibility. Nothing to be done there. We are working our way back in terms of the manpower. We've got 63,743. For Australia, we would like to conquer the rest of Australia. That would be amazing. That would bring us into conflict with Portugal and Frisia. The question is, do we want to do that? Or rather, Friesland. Honestly, they're not very powerful. We don't really want to do an imperialism CB. We would want to declare on these guys. So we'd want colonialism. So something along the lines of this would be ideal. Do we want to do this, though? The answer is no, and the reason for that is because we want to get all of our armies ready to go. I want to bulk up our colonial army to be equivalent to our other armies, and we do need to create another army too, because remember, we had one that got stack wiped because I didn't believe that these guys were retreating one province away to enemy territory. They were. Not these guys. I didn't believe a Mughal army was, and it was right over here. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. And that's going to cost, 31,000 manpower, plus whatever we decide to do with our actual expansion here, which I think we want to bring this up to probably about 40k in terms of the supply. Actually, I feel like 38 might be the way to go. Well, I don't know. Let's see after the autosave here. Maybe 40. 40 might do. What do we have for our next technology here? Flanking range, infantry shock, and a new cavalry. Okay. So that's not the biggest of deals. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. How is it even possible that someone unlocked Miltech 27 3 years ago? Because it costs 1900 power right now. Okay. I mean, we can only keep 1300 stored. That number does go up if you don't have institutions. But also, the cost goes up. How is that even possible that they'd have Miltech 28? Oh, this is Tech 27 that was first reached 3 years ago. I'm a moron. I'm an absolute moron. Okay. Never mind. Ignore me. Disregard that. I'm dumb. None of this is new news, but it is news, I suppose. So we're going to need to finish up these farm estates, finished in, like, a year? Okay. That's going to take some time. We are going to want to create states here, for sure. Note that no one has joined a coalition against us, despite the fact that Mughals, Ottomans, and Songhai, actually no longer Songhai, but Mughals and Ottomans both have huge aggressive expansion malices against us. Now, Mughals are truce to us, and the question is, will they join a coalition against us when that ends in 11 years? That is a question. But I think before that happens, we attack the Ottomans. And let's see here. We just got this 5k stack. Actually, we can have this be the start of our replacement stack. So that'll work fine. We'll just move them down to, like, Lasta here. But yeah, I definitely plan to attack the Ottomans before the truce with the Mughals is up and juggle those truces to keep them from joining forces against us. I think that's going to be the plan there. Russia is looking awkward with that no guy right through the middle there. That's a bit of a yikes. Actually, legitimacy is super good for us right now. We're going to take that. Sounds good. And we need like 24,000 men at this point. I like it. A lot of these cores will be finishing up shortly-ish. But like I said, we do need to work on some states here. And we have some rebel uprisings thinking about coming up. We can convert a province, and that's definitely something that we want to do. Let's sort by state status. And we'll make this one into a state. And that's the only one that we can do right now. But we can make Qasim into a full core. And that is beautiful. We want as many full cores as possible. We don't care about this governing cap. Spain is no longer a valid rival for us. Well now. Yearly prestige might not be terrible to keep our prestige up a bit higher. We'll go ahead and go for that. Fascinating. So they're sitting on 411,000 manpower, but look at their army plummet right now. They're currently fighting Florida in the Floridian War for Independence. Okay. Cool. We're actually very happy about that. We do want to declare on the Ottomans fairly soon. We could do an imperialism CB. Bohemia, Marrakesh, and Songhai would join. I think, honestly, fighting Songhai would be our better bet. Because that would allow us to fight the Ottomans without fighting Bohemia. Spain is guaranteeing them, but Spain would not currently do this because there's 17,000 ducats in debt. That's a lot of debt. And that debt's going to continue to go up as this Floridian War of Independence goes on. Florida's currently winning that. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm not ready to declare on Songhai right now. But that's definitely something we're going to look at very soon. We do want to continue boosting our estate land, of course, but we're not currently ready for that. We don't want to really lose prestige at this moment. Okay, so it is February of 1740. May is when we're expecting to be able to core those other 2 locations. Hormuz is still allied with Mughals. Hilarious. Okay, Separatists. And we actually immediately won. They popped where we were. Cool. No problem there. Let's see. Militarize the Naguni. No thank you on that one. We'll hold off on that. We can now make Oman into a state, and so we shall. And we'll core those. Beautiful. It is currently April, and this is going to be on 9 May. Sounds good. So right about now, we'll get both of those coring. Fantastic. So Songhai is guaranteeing the independence of Holland. That's funny. So, of course, the reason that this is happening is because none of these nations want us to continue to expand into any of this, like, quadfecta of big boys over here. But they're also all enemies with each other, and we're playing them off of each other, I think, very well. We're continuing to expand, and I am going to declare war on Songhai, just not yet. Spain is going deeper into debt. And you can see their soldier count is dropping heavily, but their manpower count is remaining about the same. However, at this time, we have manpower. That is excellent. So how much are we going to need to conform this? We require 26,000 manpower to conform this, and then we're going to need to upgrade these, of course, to the new template. And what is that template going to be? I think we're going to target 38k, just for attrition purposes. We're going to have the same combat width, which is going to be intending that we use 2 armies together to maximize our combat width. And we're just trying to minimize our attrition losses, is the overall goal right now. Now, we can get a pretty decent chunk of additional land soldiers before we go over our limit. That's fine. We don't really care about the limit, in all honesty. I would rather not lose the stability. We'll lose the government reform progress, thanks. All we're using that for right now is giving ourselves additional governing cap, like so. Cool. That's fine. All that does is lower the penalties for being over our cap, and honestly, we don't care about any of these penalties. Yeah, that aggressive expansion impact could hurt if we cared about people caring about our aggressive expansion, which we don't. So there's that. Makuria, we're still improving relations with, and we're going to be looking to annex them soon enough. Muscat is now cored, and Hassa we're going to Royal Marry. Excellent. Both of these are kind of buffer states against the Ottomans at this time. Let's go ahead and get these guys conformed to the old template. And in the meantime, we should probably think about our new template, which is going to still be 18 and 2 for a combat width of 40, assuming that we have 2 armies fighting. That's still going to be the case. And we're just going to increase our number of cannon. So 18, 2, and then our number of cannon is going to go to 18, like so. Excellent. It'll be a good chunk of manpower before we get all of this good to go. So we'll need to wait for that to regenerate a bit. And, I mean, Spain is in a lot of trouble right now. Like, a whole lot of trouble. They're not doing well. I really do want to attack Songhai. Songhai is fighting France. Defending. Fascinating. We'll lose loyalty. Ottomans. They are fighting against Russia right now. They're winning. them in Bohemia. But that means their troops are on the other side of their empire. I don't know. I'm feeling like we don't expand our army right now, in all honesty. I'm feeling like we go to war. Use this opportunity. This looks like a really solid opportunity to us. Songhai is in a separate war. Ottomans are in a separate war. Spain is far too busy to guarantee the Songhai independence right now. Spain would not join. Ottomans would, but that's okay. Ottomans are heavily in debt. And them and Bohemia are fighting Russia. Even if they weren't, the Ottomans can't really take us. I think this is good timing. The best we're going to get. Yes, our manpower is low. Yes, I would have liked to expand our military. But this opportunity is too good. We're going to move in with these armies in pairs. Songhai is Miltech 25, and they have 91,000 troops. However, their troops are likely going to be slightly distracted at the time being. Now, we're also at war with the Ottomans. And the Ottomans we have to take a little bit more seriously. So we're going to move in something kind of like this. These guys are going to head up over this way. We can actually go through the Mughal territory. Fascinating. All of you guys head up here. You guys as well. And then these guys, they're going to head up over this way. And we'll space them out once they arrive. And then these guys over here, they are the ones that are going to head up and attack up here. Cool. We're just waiting for this cannon to get in there. And then they can head up this way. Again, we'll space them out later. Cool. We're going to take some attrition as we move, but that's to be expected. The Spanish Revolution. Okay. Spain is now a republic. Revolutionary Spain. Cool. Gelre wants military access. We're going to decline for now. This is going to be quite the war. That's for sure. We'll have to see what we end up getting out of this. For now, we're going to have these guys like chilling kind of back here. We don't need them all to pile in while we're sieging, because that's a great way to not exactly have very much manpower left. So the Ottomans are going to start pulling back from this front and leave this to Bohemia. Bohemia can probably handle it. But we are taking some huge gains here. These guys are heading in over here. That's okay. I mean, we have better numbers than they do by a wide margin. We can see their army is fairly spread out. That's okay. Cool. We're not going to do that. Thanks. We're just going to siege these forts and make our way up over this direction. Up into Baghdad. We would love to cut off Ottoman access to the Persian Gulf. That would be amazing. We're not sure how much we're going to actually get from the Ottomans. A lot of this we probably just want to return cores. But we'll take some territory like over here. We wouldn't mind kicking them out of Africa, although there's almost certainly no way that we're going to pull that off in this particular war. Let's take these guys up to Alexandria, and these guys will just make their way over like something like that. Try to link up these fronts a little bit. Mazira is now cored, and that is beautiful. I definitely was planning this to be a chill episode, and this is kind of the opposite of chill, if I'm honest. This is very unchill. These guys are walking in over here. Sadly, we have to walk back over this way. So I'm guessing that we're not actually going to get to fight them. Okay. So Gao will fall very quickly. And we're just going to continue to move on in. We won this siege. That is an incredibly important siege to win. And we're just going to make our way forward a bit here. These guys can spread out. They do not need to be taking that attrition. These guys can kind of leapfrog their way up over here. And just push in. Beautiful. So we're 2% war score right now. And that will, of course, come on up. Now, what do we want to do about these guys down here? Do we want to just hire mercs to deal with them? It might not be the worst idea. 38, 2, and 4? We can hire like 2 mercenary companies over here. And then group them up. Sure, they don't have much for morale right now, but they have huge numbers and technology boons. We'll have these guys come in over here, these guys over here, and these guys can come in over this way. We have, of course, occupied over here, and we will continue to push north, although we need this fort to fall fairly desperately. We can continue to push up over this way, and so we shall. Okay. I definitely hope we get a good morale bump here. We do indeed get a morale bump. Is it enough? We're going to roll up a leader here. That's a solid leader. This battle will happen on 9 December. Okay. Now, we don't have a lot of morale here. We're not going to be shocked if we lose this battle. It's kind of greedy taking this, in all honesty. But, I mean, I feel like we've kind of earned the right to be a little greedy. Yeah, they're not into it. So we're going to actually attack them. Now, this is even more greedy. No doubt about that one. But look at that crushing morale. Absolutely crushing. We didn't need morale to fight them. Okay, we just had some Omani separatists pop over here. I'm going to send this force to turn around and deal with those. It's not very far forward, and that will be just fine. We're going to continue to push forward over this direction, and these guys will head directly to that fort and begin sieging it. And in the meantime, we'll continue pushing forward against the Ottomans. Excellent. These guys can move up over here. We do need the fort at Alexandria to fall. And we'll move up to Karag. Cool. So these guys, of course, they're going to head up over here and then make their way up this direction, like so. And we'll head up over this way and continue to push into Timbuktu. If only Europa had auto cap like in Imperator. That would be funny. But no, that's not going to happen. We lose 37,000 manpower. We don't care. We're at 0 manpower. Cool. So the Ottomans are getting a little bit crushed right now, and they're not responding to this at all. I imagine that they will, but that's not a thing that is currently happening. We're going to move up to Urfa and then into... We can't actually move into Hama until this fort falls. We definitely do need these forts to fall a bit, and these guys, they can come out over this direction. That's an awkward route to take. We'll just have them stick in Sinai for now. I think that was just... That was not Timbuktu that fell. Okay. Was a fort, but not, I think, a fort that really mattered. So that's fine. So we're at 14% war score here right now, and we don't know where the Ottoman armies are. Enemies are sieging our provinces over here. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to crush them with our mercs. Absolutely. If we catch them. There. Now we're going to catch them, and we will definitely crush them with our mercs. The mercs' job is going to be to run down those forces and fight them. So that will be just fine. We're going to continue to push up over here towards this fort. We, of course, need to continue to keep units behind them and not let our front get too wide. That's something that we need to consider. We have a lot of units still in reserve back here, so that's okay. Yeah, this is going to be fine. We may even stack wipe, but I'll be a little surprised if that stack wipes. Yeah, I don't think that's going to stack wipe. We didn't really get the crushing rolls that we needed for that to stack wipe. This, however, that'll be a stack wipe. They're locked into this. We may as well fight them. We're not doing anything else after all. Guess we could do that. That would work. We can't really continue to push forward over here at this exact juncture. And actually, we don't catch them here. What is their maneuver? 4 maneuver. Fair enough. So these guys are going to push in down here. I guess we can siege here. No problem there. We're definitely going to push our way up towards Benghazi. And we won the siege of Hamab. Beautiful. These guys can move up to Sham. And we'll just continue to move some of these reserve forces forward. Just shift them up in the lines. Good. We've still got a couple more down here. So they would go like that. Okay. These guys will head directly to Erevan. And we're just going to continue heading up over this direction for now. Just pushing our way in. Of course, our primary focus is on the Ottomans. These guys we care far, far less about. We'll send these mercs up to Karoo. And these guys, I guess they're going to start sieging for right now. I mean, it's not ideal for them to siege, but it's okay. We're occupying so many locations, it's hard to keep track of. We're 34% war score now. And that is beautiful. Some of these guys are going to need to start pushing way, way up here. Omani separatists, huh? Oh, we missed them. Okay. We're going to go hit them over here. Sounds good. I'd love to catch some of these Songhai forces over here. They're making their way this direction, which isn't the end of the world. They can do that. We're just going to continue to cap over here. What is our war score versus Ottomans right now? Ottomans are still at high war enthusiasm. And versus the Ottomans, we're 26. Okay, sounds good. Well, once again, I got a little caught up with this war and went a little bit over, but next episode, we will hopefully get this war nice and finished and get some good concessions out of the Ottomans. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.